Greetings to all melanated people all around the world. It's really a joy, it's a blessing, it's a pleasure being out in nature and greeting you, bringing a message of love, a message of peace, a message of emancipation to you, and especially those of you whom this message is resonating with. You are the one whom I've been sent to bring this message to, and you are the ones who are simple and can understand simplicity. You know, as I would always say, I'm not an intellectual, I'm not a scholar. All I'm doing, I'm telling my experience, and if my experience resonates with you and you can say what he's saying means a lot to me, it makes sense to me, then it means you are on the same level of frequency and you will be able to understand me. You know, because we live in a world today where not much people can understand simplicity. You know, some people like to be complicated. You know, there are persons among us who so bent and believe in Christianity that they will say to you that the Trinity and all of these things, that they are mystery and they can't explain. But you see, they believe in something that they can't explain. But I want to say, my brother, my sisters, never be afraid to question anything that anyone wants to shove down your throat. Even what I'm bringing to you, don't be afraid to question what I'm bringing to you. But most of all, I'm only bringing to you what I would have experienced. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, with that being said, I want to speak to you concerning sin. And what is sin? Because, you know, having grew up in the church and was taught that sin is breaking God's laws or going against what God says and so on. Yet I was told that we were born in sin and shaping iniquity and so on. Now, if we were born in sin and shaping iniquity, and as a little baby, as a little child, we do not even know that we exist in this world when we were one day old, 1 week old, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, and so on. We didn't even know that we existed yet. They say we were born in sin and shaping iniquity. Now I want to explain that for you based on what has been revealed to me. Now, as I would have said to you before, we didn't know that we existed, which means that whenever we're born into this world of the physical, from down below, which is the first birth, which is the water birth, because your mother water bag have to burst. Okay, and in St. John chapter 3, it says you have to be born of the water and of the spirit. So it is showing you there's a birth from below and there's a birth from above. But I don't want to go into that at this time. I want to speak about the birth from down below, where you come into the world of the physical and you come into this world in a state of forgetfulness, in a state of amnesia. So basically, there's only one fundamental sin in this world, and that sin is not knowing who the hell you are. So you have to ask yourself, who am I? That's why I did a video called The Universal Christian, and everybody all around the world have to ask themselves this question: who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going? And so, sin is when you don't know who you are. So sin is ignorance. So you're born in a state of ignorance, and that ignorance is of not knowing your true identity. So you're here in this world to discover yourself, your true self, your true identity. My brother, my sisters, in my experience, as a little boy growing up, I wanted was to know for myself, who am I and who God is, for myself. As a young man growing up. And that's why I started my journey in Christianity. Because I grew up in a community, a society whereby everyone was heading towards church to find their true identity. So I take the same pathway. But I just couldn't settle for forms and rituals and possession. Because even as a little boy, when I go to church, even the preachers, they said that there was something very strange about me that they don't know. But they know that I was going to be used mightily. And that I was called out and separated and set apart. And they would always say they would never feel good going on the pulpit unless they see this little boy in the pews who's always ready to answer questions and so on, and always ready to participate and to be a part of a church system at the time. And I was very young at that time. But when the time came, when I wanted was to know who I am, that's where I made a conscious decision to take the pathway through Christianity. And every time they wanted to put me on a pedestal, something always tell me that you cannot know God by education, but it's by divine revelation that it must be revealed to you. And then throughout my years, many times I would hear this little voice within me telling me about the bloodline and the language, which I won't go into that right now. But those are things I will open to you as we go further, because I realize that the apostles who are now coming and they're now starting out on their journey and so on. And I'm very humble enough to know that I have to go according to those who will hear me and listen to me and walk the journey with them. And as I go higher, they will go higher. And as I go higher, they go higher also. Because their destiny is tied to my destiny. Okay? That's why they can resonate with the message that I'm bringing across. So yes, my brother, my sisters, when you come to know your true identity and you come to know who you are, you will get rid of all shame and all guilt and all concept of hell and the devil, because you will understand the devil to be your lower self. You will understand living in hell is living in a world, not knowing who you are and being trapped by every rule and every law and everything that they have to keep you in worries and problems, to have you tied down and trapped in the matrix. So sin is ignorance. And when you deny yourself, your God self, and doubt your own self, and have no belief in your own self, and no love for your own self, and no acceptance for your own self, no one can help you. That's the unpardonable sin, because no one can help you to believe in yourself. No one could help you to accept your own biography. That is why it is personal. And only those of us who would have had the experience would realize that those who refuse to look within themselves to find the Creator, the Savior, the Redeemer, those who refuse to believe that God is their own human imagination, that everything in this world was false at thought, everything was false imagined, everything was false mental, that everything is energy and vibration, and that we are electrical and magnetic beings. Those who would refuse that can never go any higher. They accept to live in ignorance, to live in sin. But we who are willing to learn and to say, I don't know, and I want to know, be the one who keep going higher and higher and higher and higher, and coming to higher levels, and coming to true godliness, knowing our true I amness, knowing who we are, and breaking the bonds of sin. And we are the ones who would say, oh death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? While the others will be chopped in fear and worry and deception because they fall victim to the matrix and all the system that is there to keep them bound. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I hope I got my message across to you. I want to give you the sign of the rising sun, the sign of the one who have gone beyond the crown chakra, the sign of Matthew 6:20, where it says, if you all be single, your whole body will be full of light. This is the eye of the mystic. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.